Hi everyone, Scipio here. Finally bringing some new new videos for my YouTube channel. Finally have some time off from my work, so I can bring you some new content about, in this case, nutrition. I want to do a nutrition series when I explain basically what will be my approach to fitness. When it comes to like fitness goals, nutrition, like speaking overall, very particular with when it comes to my approach. I get a ton of questions from my clients, for the people when they hire me and become my clients, or from people at the gym, from people on my Instagram, or wherever I go, why I look the way I look. So there's a particular reason. I don't care if it's winter, summer, spring, whatever. I come from South America when we have like rainy season and permanent summer, and I basically look like this year round. Picture number one, picture number two, that's basically me year round. I decided that after competing as an amateur bodybuilding in my country, in South America, for a few years and then moving here, that I wanted to be lean year round. There's a lot of health benefits for being so lean. When it comes to, I will not basically tell all about that like in a few minutes. I decide that basically giving myself or be myself in shape year round will be more efficient than basically just doing like bulking and cutting, and that's it. So what happened over these last 4 years that I've been maintaining this look, I basically put on muscle with a low amount of body fat, but at the same time my health markers improve. So that being said, let's get into it. I basically call it MetFlex. MetFlex is for metabolic flexibility. Metabolic flexibility basically is just the ability of your body for going to use fat as fuel and use carbs as fuel depending on the situation or the activity. As an example, if I'm here just typing on my computer doing desk job, my primarily fuel source will be fats. If I'm doing some low intensity cardio like walking around the neighborhood or just like hiking or me sitting down here, see, I'm just basically working with fats. If I'm going to do some like sprints, playing basketball, going to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practice, or going to the gym, that's called glycolytic activities, basically activities that work with carbohydrates. After trying a lot of different dietary approaches like ketogenic diets, carnivore diet, which I basically love them both because I'm a fat-oriented person. I work great with fats. They make me feel great. They make me feel like when it comes to cognitive function, they allow me to feel great. I don't feel tired at all. I don't feel like mentally like slow. I'm basically active the whole day. Appetite suppression great. When it comes to training wise and in the gym for bodybuilding, it sucks. And I don't care what ketogenic people says, it sucks. It sucks horrible. I can carb load on a Sunday, and by Wednesday I already crash. There's nothing there. If I do in a long term, I'm gonna start feeling that metabolism basically slows down and it's not efficient. It's not basically efficient. I did for a short time, low fat, high carbs, medium to high protein. It's basically stupid. When my fats go below 90, 80 grams, I can feel it. My joints hurts. I start developing like tendonitis type of issues. I start getting like my skin gets dry, my nails get dry, my hair gets dry, and hormonally we know what happens when your fats are really low. More carbs for me is more cravings. More carbs, that means if I have a really fast metabolism, let's say if I'm going to a bodybuilding contest and basically I'm in high carbs, I'm gonna burn them faster, which means I'm gonna have like all those craving issues and shakiness and low blood sugar episodes, hypoglycemia a couple of times. Sorry, stupid. I don't care what everybody says. I went basically after seeing and watching and observing Olympic athletes like Olympic weightlifters here and Olympic gymnasts, soccer players, hockey players, track and field athletes, and some Olympic wrestlers and MMA fighters. They're basically lean year round. Lean, like in the pictures I already showed. Very, very lean, and they can perform with no problem. They basically take their training to a moment when they need to peak their abilities, and they go to their event, and basically they taper down and keep, working on whatever they need. But they keep that leanness year round. If they keep that leanness year round, working out or training 2 or 3 times a day, including cardiovascular training and high intensity, or prolonged exercise, like with when motor skills are needed in a constant basis. That being said, the amount of calories these people consume is insane. We're talking about between 35, 38, 4,000, even 5,000 calories daily. So that means there's a lot of carbs and fats, and not a lot of protein in those diets. So I was basically asking myself, if these people look really great year round, why someone in the bodybuilding world or physique competitive world cannot look like that? Being a proponent of cheat days, I said days, it basically hit me up, and that was the moment when I decided to review everything I knew about nutrition, about metabolism, about dietary strategies, and it came out with the concept of metabolic flexibility. Like I said, it's the ability for switching from one fuel source to the other, fats, carbs, fats. That's an example. Today, I went training completely fasted, and I have my full body workout, no problem at all. If I go tomorrow at this time, which will be here in Central Time, Texas, 2:12 in the afternoon, and I have a couple meals with me, it doesn't really matter if it was like proteins and fats and proteins and carbs, I'm gonna perform no problem. If I'm gonna train later at night, there's gonna be no problems. If I decide to do an intermittent fasting for 16 hours, there's not gonna be no problem. If I decide to have a cheat day, there's not gonna be any problem. So that being said, that's what it called metabolic flexibility. I can be working in an urgent care clinic for 6 hours straight and just taking a 30-minute break, not feeling bad at all. But at the same time, I can be just here and just have 5 meals a day and not feel bad at all. That's what metabolic flexibility is. For achieving that, that's the part when I get new clients and I explain the whole concept, they love it. Because basically what you're doing, the same way you're training your muscles, you're training your hormones and your metabolism. I'm gonna give a small like a sample of what I would do with someone, so you can understand. If someone is really interested in this kind of training and dietary approach, my Instagram is here. They can DM me for coaching, and I will let them know how my packages work. Well, let's get started. Metabolic flexibility works in a short term, medium term, and long term. Short term is what you do in a 6 to 7 day cycle. Medium term is what happens during the month, and long term is what's going to happen in 6 months. That's basically and you're gonna start with your maintenance calories. 50% of those maintenance calories are gonna be filled with protein. My recommendation would be red meat, That's something I'm gonna talk about like in episode 3 of MedFlex. Why I choose to red meat over all kinds of meats. Sorry, bro science people, I already show you pictures of how it looks year round, and I achieved that leanness eating red meat. So you can take your meat of like your tilapia and your white chicken, and well, you can go away. 50% of those calories gonna be protein. From the remaining of the calories, 30%, between 25 and 30% is gonna be fats, and you wanna spread it out with your protein in the other meals. Olive oil, avocado oil, macadamia nut oil, butter, you name it. Just put it there. What are remaining of the calories is going to be, basically is going to be carbohydrates, and you're gonna spread those carbohydrates pre-workout, intra-workout, post-workout meals. That's it. Ultra simple. See, no special techniques here. It's just common sense, and you're gonna stick to that plan for 5 to 6 days straight. You're gonna do your training, you're gonna do your life. You can spread those calories and those macronutrients in as many meals as you want, and you're gonna go through it 5 to 6 days. The seventh day or your day off from all this cycle, you're gonna have half a cheat day, half of eating whatever you want. That means 10 to 12 hours of eating whatever you want. During that cycle, when you are stuck with those calories, you're gonna fairly deplete your glycogen, which is gonna allow you to burn fat when there's no carbohydrates, because your metabolism is gonna be speeding up from each time that you're working out, and you're gonna lose fat, but carbohydrates are not that low, are basically in the perfect spot for keep you in an anabolic state, so you can increase your lean muscle mass. So during the week, you're gonna burn a little bit of fat, but you're also gonna increase your lean muscle mass a little bit. If you multiply that for a month, you're gonna tell me how many pounds of fat do you burn and how many pounds of lean muscle did you gain. If you multiply that for 6 months, you're gonna tell me how much fat did you lose and how many pounds of lean mass did you gain. What's gonna happen during that month and to 6 months is you're gonna feel like some kind of like midweek cravings, like your hunger is gonna increase. For that, increase your protein between 25 and 50 grams of protein. If you're still feeling more hunger, you're gonna put some vegetables in the meals when there's no carbohydrates. No vegetables in the other meals that are not the pre-workout and the post-workout. So fill that with vegetables, and you keep going. The leaner you are, then you're gonna add 1 more hour to your cheat day. So instead of having half a cheat day, you're gonna have, if you have 10 hours, you're gonna have 11 hours, and then you're gonna have 12 hours, and so on. That's basically what is MedFlex. You wanna tell me how are you gonna look by the end of that month, by the end of 3 months, by the end of 6 months? It's not that severe because it's a mildly weekly depletion with a mild replenishment, depending on how you feel. If you feel that you need to lose some weight, more weight, you can have some cardio. If you feel you are losing in a good rate, just keep everything the same. Like I said before, if you feel more hunger during the week, increase your protein, increase your vegetable intake. And that's pretty much it. If you continue that over time, you're gonna be leaner, you're gonna still gaining muscle, and you're gonna basically work around to you're gonna have a full weekend off. So you can enjoy it with your family, with your friends, with your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, blah, 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 your dog, your turtles, whatever. That's all. Simple. Extremely simple. People tend to overcomplicate things. People tend to listen to the bros. That's a really bad mistake. People tend to fear cheat days, especially, and I'm using this one because that's for the bros. because for the bro science, because they don't understand how metabolism works and how hormones works, and they don't understand that spikes need density calorie foods, and sadly in the 21st century caloric density foods are basically junk food or a lot of sugar or stuff that have to be really fried or fatty foods. Sorry, this is the reality. There's people like me and my followers and my clients that we are lean year round and we having a life, because I cannot allow me to basically go one of those like chicken, broccoli and brown rice diet or oatmeal and egg whites diets, because I will be in my work and I will be crashing, or I will be have mental fogginess, and if I not perform well in my real life work, my job, I'm gonna get fired. There's not gonna be any money. That's for people that they don't do anything and they just eat, sleep, and train. For people like doctors, architects, engineers, plumbers, construction workers, people that work in the service industry, food industry, they have like real life jobs. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. So if there's more questions, you can DM me in my Instagram. You can reach me through there. I managed to find a way to enjoy life, for looking good, for still going to the gym. Sorry, bro science, I don't care what you said. Basically, that's it. In my next episode, I'm just going to talk about the difference between different types of carbs, different types of fats, and how to work around with them during your daily diet. Peace out.